Have you ever been in a meeting, coming out thinking, what has really happened? You spoke, everyone nodded, and yet something didn't change. Well, I've been there as a double CCIE and a CCDE, a lot of stakeholder meetings, and somehow the outcomes, they were always missed and they were always slipped. That's when I realized that I wasn't missing the technical bits. I was missing the aim. I was missing the intent. Guys, I used to walk in those meetings like a technical machine. I've got everything, my designs, my slides, my presentations, and my configs. But the only thing what I wasn't bringing in those meetings was the aim, what the outcome is, why I'm even going into those meetings. When I started, I would talk about anything from VXLANs, from routing, from the security principles, and always focusing on how can we achieve that, how can I do that. But I was missing the bigger picture, the bigger element, and that was the why bit, the intent. Why in the first place am I suggesting this thing to the organization, and why are we even doing that thing, right? And guess what? In all those meetings, they would jump in, they would redirect that conversation, and they'll actually make it as part of their agenda and part of their outcome. And I used to sit there thinking like, what has just happened here? It was my meeting, it was my moment to explain those technical details to the stakeholders and get the outcome of my desire. And then upon reflecting, I figured out that it wasn't the lack of technical ability, it was actually the lack of focus. And that's where I came across something very powerful, something very convincing, and that is called the Bullseye Principle. Now, think about an archer. When an archer takes the aim on something, it's the archer's goal to hit the bullseye, the small circle in the middle. And now imagine this, if the archer closes their eyes and they take the aim with closed eyes and they release the arrow by thinking that it would go and it would hit something very important, then you actually know the answer, what's going to happen with that. And trust me guys, that's how most of us, we communicate in our day-to-day life, in our personal life, in our professional life, or even when we are talking to strangers. We are always speaking without the outcomes, without the intent, without the focus. And then we imagine that the audience, they will understand our message and then they will take action and we will shine. But that doesn't actually happen like that. We speak, we explain, and we share data, but we don't take the aim. The Bullseye Principle is simple. It's your responsibility to aim the message. It's your responsibility to aim your message. The target, which is your audience, they wouldn't move for you. And actually, it's on you to adjust your tone, the message, the word, and that intent to drive that outcome, what you are desiring. Guys, once I understood this, everything changed for me. Before going into every meeting, I used to think about that, what is the ideal outcome I am seeking out of this engagement and this meeting? What's actually is it that they want out of this meeting and engagement? And what value can I add to make both of us win? And trust me, it's not that easier. It's not that simpler. You need to flex and develop that muscle to get that intent, to focus on that intent, and always drive your meeting to resonate with people, to read the room. What are people thinking? Are they actually getting any of my message, what I'm even talking about? Is anything what I'm saying, it is making sense to them? And once I've understood all this, it helped me by making my values simpler. So I understood my value, that what are my values, and I simplified that. So my value became to simplify the complex network topics, to implement and to add secure by design element into my every design, and always think about from their business intent, from their business perspective, that how this technology is going to help their business. And applying that framework, I was able to understand people. And trust me, when people, they feel understand, they trust you more. And when you are able to gain their trust, then you will be able to make them act on something. So guys, when next time you go into any meeting, don't prepare your slides, don't focus too much on your slides. Focus and prepare your outcome. What is it actually you are wanting to have out of that meeting, out of that interaction with your stakeholders? And remember, it's not the bull's job to find that arrow. It's your job to aim. So hit your bullseye in every conversation. If this message resonated with you, then share it, forward it, because clarity isn't power, it's precision. Thank you.